Good morning, college. Today we present a story. This group is made up of Gabriel Romero Cárdenas, Ángela Ramírez, Dayana Salgado, Ian Nicolás, and Tomás Rodríguez.
When I got home that night while my wife was serving me dinner, I took her hand and said, I have something to tell you. She sat down and stayed quietly. I looked at her and saw the pain in her eyes. Suddenly, I didn't know how to open my mouth, but I had to tell him what I was thinking. I want a divorce. She did not seem to be disgusted by my words. I asked me softly, why? That night we don't speak, and she was crying. I knew she wanted to know what was happening with our marriage, but I couldn't answer her. It happened that she had lost my heart because another woman named Juana. I no longer loved my wife. I just feel sorry for her. With a great sense of guilt, I wrote a divorce agreement, and in this agreement, she kept the house, the car, and 30% of our business. She looked at the agreement and tore into the pieces. She happened to 10 years of her life with me, and he were like strangers. I feel sorry for she, for all his wasted time, his energy, but he couldn't change anymore. I loved Juana. Suddenly he began to scream and cry, as if to vent the idea of divorce was even clearer to me now. The next day I came home to find her writing at the table. I didn't hate dinner and went to sleep. I was very tired from having spent the day with Juana. When I woke up, my wife was still writing at the table. I didn't care. I rolled over and went back to sleep. In the morning, my wife presented me with her conditions for the divorce. She did not want anything from me, but she needed a month's notice before the divorce. He asked me in divorce that for a month we would have to live with if nothing had happened and get along normally. His reason was simple. Our son have exams all that month. I didn't want to bother him with our broke marriage.
I great but she had another request that I remember when I carried her in my arms to our room the day he were married. She asked, she asked my for that month every day to carry her for the room to the front door of the house. I thought she has going crazy, but, but to keep the party in place, I agreed. I told Juana what my wife asked me, and she launching out loud, saying that this request has absurd and that no matter what trick my wife used, she would have to accept the divorce. My wife, I and I had not had physical contact since I experienced my interactions from the divorce. So when I carried here on the first day to for door brought felt bad. Our son walked, being clapping, use and saying that he is holding my mommy is he hides arms. His welcomed me a lot. I walked the 100 meters with my wife my arms. She closed her eyes and said a low voice, "Don't tell us absolute the divorce, please." I'm not dead. A little disgusted and lowered it his. I go to the door. She went to wait for the bus to go to work. I drive alone to my work.
The second day was the boards more relaxed. She leaned against my head and the curved footed front on the road. I realized that the harm looked as turning for a long time. I realized that it had not too hot and more sad what some skins, some grey hair. The war and the air for you. Baring was remarked for a moment. It turned and wondered, what did it do to him? On the fourth day, I heard her in my heart and felt the intimate round between us. She asked the war on guide me there, of her life, of her joy, of the 56th day. Intimate continued to cool. It inside antics to Juana. Every day it was easy to take me with and the more when it told that what Katie would to carrying her and that might that he found it least and less hype to carry the heat of her body.
One morning I was looking at what to wear. She had tried on many dresses, but they were useless. Complaining, she said, "My dress are waiting to be." It was there that I realized that she was very thin, and that was actually the reason we have no longer till I had wakened of her carrying her. Suddenly I realized that he had buried himself a lot into where pain and bitterness. We without realizing in the tones her hair also come into the room and sat and said that it's time for you to take mom to the door for me son, saying this father died after dilating his mother to door had become an essential part of this life. My wife hugged him. My father, doubtful, I felt a great fear that would change my way of thinking about divorce. Already carry my wife in my arms to the door. I felt the same as the first day. Or wilding that she caused my neck naturally and until I hugged her tingly like or when night. I would her and didn't mouth but she felt solid and in touch she saddened me them. Last day I hugged her and I didn't want to move. I sighed. I don't realize that we no longer had privacy.
My son went to school and I drove to the office. I got out of the cart and we got closing the door. I climbed the ladder. Juana opened the door for me and I said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't want to divorce my wife." Juana looked at me, asked me if I had a fever. I said, "My wife and I love each other." It was just that the routine had damaged our privacy and we were bored. We had not followed the details of our life, but since I began to carry her in my arms again every day, from room to door, I realized that I must carry her for the rest of our lives. Juana started crying, slapped me and slammed the door in my face. I went downstairs, got in the car, went to the flower shop, and bought my wife flowers. The young woman at the flower shop asked me, "What do I write on the card, sir?" "I will carry you in my arms every moment until that those part," I said. I arrived at my house with flowers in my hands and smiled. Just for him, I ran up the stairs. I entered the room. I found my wife dead. My wife was struggling it with a terrible cancer, and I was so busy with Juana that I didn't realize it. My wife, Ned, she was dying, and that's why they asked me for months' notice before the divorce. So what our son will about memory of a divorce will remain, so that we won't had a negative reaction from his parents, so that at last for my son it will be engraved in his eyes and his memories that his father was his wonderful man, a husband who loved his wife.
The story is sad because it begins with and turns into a tragedy. If the man had not been there, he could have spent more time with his wife before his death.
It is a story that lets us know that we must take advantage of every moment of our life, even even if it is small, although it is not always necessary to enjoy it. If you enjoy your life, you will have a better time.
This story has taught us to appreciate our loved ones, especially our father and mother, so that routines and studies do not affect us in order to spend time with them and the same time be better people and children, because as in story is reflected with what realizing it we lose our loved ones and everything be being are of our daily tasks and people that makes us have a bad doubt.
Let's learn to organize our work and personal time such that we can spend more time with our family members so that we are not distracted with other trends. Let's celebrate and appreciate of parents. Happy Mother and Father Day.